Piracy. See, the World Bank reports is statistic. Blah 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 blah. For every legitimate copy of a Nigerian film sold, 9 are illicitly pirated. Interesting.
How many?
For every one sold, 9 get pirated.
It's more than 9.
Where did you get that from?
The World Bank. In 2014, Nollywood alone suffered staggering losses, estimated at $82 billion due to piracy.
Alaba.
Named.
Alaba,
At the heart of this issue lies Alaba International Market in Lagos, Nigeria, a notorious distribution hub being pointed by the Nigerian Copyright Commission as Piracy's epicenter. Despite advancements in distribution technology, this persistent problem continues to plague the industry. Interesting. Alaba do this one. No, we are not. I think if the country is, they know what to do. As sad and as damaging as it might seem.
As much as it's damaging the economy, it's also yielding more. So they can't shut Alaba.
They know
yielding.
It's yielding.
So yielding. Okay, interesting.
Remains a crime.
But it is a crime. You get. So are you saying because it is yielding money, they are turning? They are looking away.
It's Nigeria. Making money.
Even all that money from piracy doesn't really contribute to the economy, if you ask me, because there are so many ways it could have transformed the distribution.
But it is money that is circulating. So now I want to play. I'll just devil's advocate here, because clearly one can say it's not like it's foreign investment that is coming in. So it is money that is being raised from Nigeria that is sort of still circulating within Nigeria.
Amongst Nigerians, right?
Yeah.
But the whole point of somebody making a film is to experience commercial success, right?
Yes, it's one of the points.
If in the end I make a film and then I do not benefit commercially from my film,
what was the need?
Then why should I make the film?
No. This.
So
okay.
Primarily, privacy is a crime and should be
No,
found
piracy has always been a crime.
irrespective of what it can do to the
IP
community
theft.
where.
It is.
That is IP theft.
Exactly. So it's actually a big crime.
Okay.
So that's why in advanced countries you have people like agencies like FBI
Clapping
and
down on
Interpol, looking for pirates.
Okay.
To
Another side of the same picture. For when Alaba was Alaba in its heydays, in its glory, there was that films that were released in this VCD and all the rest were pirated. You get, so a producer makes their film, makes it in disc, and instead of you getting the original one, you won't even see it to buy. You get the pirated one. But now, with Netflix and every
it's kind of like so.
I want to think that Alaba is not as potent as it used to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we know that these films that come out on Netflix, yes, they are still being pirated, but
for the rate,
not by Alaba this time around.
yeah.
Unless I just think Alaba has become synonymous with that piracy. It's like the face of piracy. But if we're being honest, in this present day, they are not the ones behind the main piracy anymore.
Fact.
Piracy has gone online. Piracy has evolved and has gone online, just like yes,
Alaba.
it's gonna be on Alaba. Was it 2 or 3 months ago when Net Niger made the announcement that they were
Shutting down.
And then somebody said,
And there's been a lot of websites like Net Niger that have come and then gone.
have gone, and they stood the
And
test
more are
of
still
time.
springing up.
But I want to think,
they don't
I want to
really
think
last.
behind the scene that this Net Niger thing here wasn't from the goodness of their heart. You don't just wake up one day and say you are giving up. I think I heard they get about 20 million impressions daily.
That's money.
You get on all those their clickbait ads and all. So you don't just wake up one morning and say. So I think behind the whole, we're not hosting films. There's a lawsuit. There was maybe cease and desist or something. You get definitely. But yeah, if they want to fight piracy, they know what it is. It's not Alaba anymore. Alaba is just the face. It's the name you call it. But piracy, in my opinion, just like how movie consumption has gone online,
Now,
piracy has gone online.
Alaba.
Mm-hmm.
Piracy is online. It's people like you and I.
You are who?
Smart guys, people who
People
are
like who are who?
intelligent, people who sit in front of their laptops and then exactly. So
Okay, devil's advocate again. Is piracy only a crime? Well, does piracy only hurt because when Nigerian films are the one being pirated? Because
most of us, you get
not you and who, not most of us. You and who? I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of people consume foreign content. A lot of people consume foreign, and even a lot of people now in this umbrella also covers Nigerian filmmakers. consume foreign content through bootleg ways.
Yeah.
So we've grown in a culture, or we've cultivated a culture that, you know, the easiest way, because before Netflix and the rest came, we've been consuming most of these things, you get. And it's become a culture for some people, you get. So now Netflix has come, Prime Video has come, Showmax has come, and they're saying, okay, leave this thing that all you just had to spend is your data, and then go pay so that you could watch it legally, which is the right thing to do. But we know that not every single content that people want to watch is available to stream legally. Yeah. So is this piracy thing, is it a problem only when it has to do with Nollywood films?
No, piracy is piracy everywhere.
Are you saying it because that's like the PC thing to say, or that's indeed what you believe?
No. You see, I think I made an example the last time. I was coming from the perspective of a filmmaker, somebody who makes a film and wants to benefit commercially from the film that he's made, right? Mm-hmm. So if we look at it holistically, then in every sense of it, piracy is a crime. Whether it's Nollywood films that are being pirated, whether it's Hollywood films that are being pirated, whether it's somebody who's a film lover seeing a Nollywood film or seeing a Hollywood film, if you're bootlegging these films, it's a crime. You're a pirate. It's a crime. So it doesn't matter. It hurts because all that money that's been lost due to piracy. I don't know, but if you check the way films are produced and all of that, then you realize that even some of those monies could have been taxed and then put back legally into the economy. You get? But when the filmmaker is declaring losses, and then the revenue generated from the film barely covers the expenditure for the film, then of course you hardly can tax pre-profit revenue. So in the end, it's not just the filmmaker who's losing, the general economy is losing. So piracy is a crime that should be frowned at every level by everyone.
Fine. I'm very good. Now, but herein lies what I think is the whole, what you said. And maybe whole is not the best way to describe it, but yeah. Piracy is bad, yes, we know that one. Yeah. But you're saying this whole thing you said now, which is nice and good, but you're saying it or you're saying it in a way that makes it seem as though the average person has a conscience that is still working.
Yeah.
So I think the onus is on major stakeholders. In this case now, I think it's Netflix, Prime Video, Showmax, and for them to find a way to call the attention of the government in a way that they start to make certain changes or start to re-educate people, because sometimes this thing is just willful ignorance. You see somebody online, after all my data I spent on your film, you see the screenshot where they're complaining over it has a certain website.
Exactly, true.
Or you get.
True.
Because and in their ignorance they think that the data they spend somehow converts to money that goes into the filmmaker pocket. Willful ignorance, you get.
Piracy is the epicenter of
yes. So when I mentioned but when I mentioned stakeholders, I think because Netflix, they're the ones pumping, these guys are the ones pumping this streaming service, are the ones pumping the most money right now. So the filmmakers themselves are not exactly losing. They are cashing out now.
They are.
It's finite, because if Netflix, if Prime Video, if Showmax are not recouping their investment in, say, the 5 years they set for short-term goals or whatever it may be, or let's say for long-term goals, if they don't start to recoup their investments or see positive, it's only a matter of time before they leave. That is the truth.
True.
And I think we'll be worse than we were before they even came in.
So but every problem can be tackled by addressing its root cause. That's how I
because
think like
on this case of piracy
right?
now,
and I try to.
You would cause there's not enough money. Why is there enough money? Economy wahala. Okay, yes, in January I could afford to go see a film for 1,000 naira. Now to go see a film at the cinema is 4,000 naira.
Exactly.
That's what you are going to get when we start to approach the causes. It's just it's a bottomless.
Do you want them to
reduce
the price
very simple example? This is a very simple example. This is a very simple example. What you just said about the cinema. So personally, for me, I like to declare this myself as a cinephile, right? Somebody who delights from going to the cinema, from watching films in the cinema, not just because I'm a film freak, but because I love the experience that I gain from being in the cinema with my friends and watching films on the big screen. But tell you what, last year, I can tell you I visited the cinema more than 15 times, right? But this year I haven't been to the cinema. Why do you think I haven't been to the cinema?
Yes,
Are you watching films?
I wasn't watching films. I wasn't watching films, but I haven't been to the cinema, not even once this year. And you know why? Because I can no longer afford going to the cinema. It's become fucking expensive. It's become damn expensive, and I can't go. But last year it was affordable, and I was going. So I'm just trying to tackle the issue of sometimes these films, these intellectual properties, not being affordable for.
But this is the argument of you who knows better.
Yeah.
Now, for whatever you think, which is your story is important and all, but I think people like you are in the minority, people who know better.
Yeah.
But because of the economy, you cannot afford it. You are being forced to source these films elsewhere. I want to think that you're in the minority compared to people who indulge in this piracy as a way of life out of sheer ignorance or willful ignorance, as the case may be. So, and that's why I still maintain that the most effective way towards tackling this thing would be to invest in education and re-education. I think that's going to be the most productive.
I think the Nigerian industry as a whole has done this investment in educating people on the because of privacy.
Have they?
I think so.
Of recent?
Because I feel
How
like
much?
How much? You see, okay, let's take the industry in general, and you see sites being clamped down on, shut down by the Homeland Services.
Sites? Okay, that's in the US. I localize this thing to Nigeria. I'm in the US. But I'm talking about Nigeria. I'm not talking about US. I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm talking about the Nigerian movie industry.
Market, we have a long way to go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the worldwide.
We have a long way to go in privacy.
I think
haven't even started.
it's not now.
I'm not even halfway because we will still pirate.
But it's not just because of film and TV. I mean, we have people pirating books, we have people pirating all sorts
Music.
of things here. Even
Music.
the food sometimes.
Pirate food. Wow.
And you know why this is so? Because in market forces, there is demand and supply.
Yes.
I mean, those who are the chief pirates, the Alaba as they call them, are the suppliers. But Alaba only continues to thrive because there is a constant demand for it. And when I say education, I'm not talking about the suppliers. The suppliers, more often than not, know what they are doing
because
they are just in it for the money.
Yeah.
Their conscience is dead. They are part of it. Their conscience is dead. They are for the business. My target, my TA at this point is that a large chunk of the consumers, a large chunk of those who make these things still be in demand, are doing it out of ignorance. They don't even know that what you are doing is illegal.
But do you think they will stop even though they have been educated? Because that goes back to you telling me about the elite. Even people who know these things, who know that they are bootlegging an intellectual property, but they still go ahead to do it.
But how? It doesn't mean. I don't think they would stop automatically. And I think it's just like how we have multiple stages of grief. You would have multiple stages of converting a prospective buyer. You get? I think it'd be the same.
One thing I do believe
This is not a movie where you just talk to a person once and they just give their life to the right side of the law.
Enforcement of the law around piracy in this country has been shite.
True.
That is the practical truth. Because if we had been doing enough, I think we would have gotten somewhere to.
True.
But sadly, we haven't done anything now.
You haven't done anything at all, have you?
It's crazy because you have an agency as big as the FBI moving around in the US arresting people who are into piracy, and them police people do not even understand what it means to be a pirate. Matter of fact, they are some of the customers of the so who then is going to enforce the law?
Who? And it's a valid argument.
I remember then, even in our pirated movies then, you insert a CD, a home video disc, then what you hear? Warning. Don't every year, producers and filmmakers blah blah blah. Why
know
they
that?
continue suffering in penury or something like that? I remember.
I think they need to bring back stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least let it be in your forefront, in your
Sensitization, let
consciousnly.
people know
That's
that.
part of the education and
Yeah.
re-education I'm talking
Yes,
about.
and if you see original US film, they used to do it.
They do it. They have their what particular color with the FBI logo. Yeah.
I think some film houses have removed it, but I remember seeing it on some of those movies.
So yeah, education, re-education, education, re-education, education, re-education.
Not for Nigerians. Not for Nigerians. Not for Nigerians. Doesn't work for Nigerians.
Piracy is evil.
Piracy is evil.
Doesn't work for Nigerians.